Hello, I'm Dr. Kernan Manion. I'm a physician and I have a specialty in adult psychiatry. And over the years, I have come to explore how the mind works. And I developed a framework called MindSense. And this course is called Mastering Your Emotional Intelligence with MindSense. Now, this is not simply a course about psychology of how other people out there relate and interact. Rather, it's a course about you and about me and the way that we understand ourselves in the world and how we relate to others and how others relate to us. So it's a very practical course, not about experimental psychology. And the goal here is to come away with a working understanding of yourself. In essence, creating an emotional dashboard so that you can get a real-time read on what you're thinking, feeling, your body's telling you, how you're behaving, and perhaps most importantly, what past events, what past themes are getting evoked for you that are now coming into the present. This framework has been in development for over 20 years, and I was privileged to be able to present it to officers of a wounded warrior battalion at a military base and multiple other professional audiences. And now this is the first time that I'm able to offer this in a course that is online, and I'm very enthused about that. So in this course, we're going to be tackling the concept of what's out there, external events, situations, and issues, and how they get brought in to our minds and created, if you will, almost like a hologram. And then we have an internal dialogue about them. And that internal dialogue is then associated with pieces of emotion, anger, anxiety, sadness, shame, pain, but also the wonderful bliss emotions of love, peace, joy, pride, and delight. And how these emotions gather and pool, and how we tag, just like a computer file, we tag certain events onto a certain understanding and then store that understanding, whether correctly or not, in our, what I call the theme library. The themes of inadequacy, the themes of unlovability, and then how we end up adding new events to that theme library, and how that theme library then comes to play itself out in everyday interactions that we have. So if you will, this is a Psych U 101 course. I wish I had had that Psych U 101 course when I was going through psychology in college, when I was going through all of the turmoil of my adolescence and young adult life. The good news is that this framework that I developed has served me very well in some very challenging times, and I know it has served others as well, and I'm hoping that it's going to serve you too. So I look forward to having you join us in the course. Before we leave, I want to do a little experiment with you, okay? I want you to take out a piece of paper, and I want you just simply to write one thought down that you had about this little introductory presentation. You might find yourself saying like, oh my God, that guy's just so wishy-washy. This touchy-feely stuff is just a bunch of claptrap. I can't stand even listening to this guy, right? If that's your sentiment, that's okay. Likewise, you might want to write down, oh my gosh, this gives me a sense of understanding, a sense of hope. Oh my God, I feel like this has some promise here. It gives me a sense of peace and contentment. Write that down. Now, if you would, then write down the feeling word that best describes that little fragment of internal dialogue. So in the first one about this being a lot of claptrap, then it might be irritation, anger. And in the second internal dialogue, it might be something like a sense of hope, a sense of peace, a sense of calm, a sense of contentment. Okay, those are the emotion words that go along with that. Now, what we just did with that is look at individual pieces of internal dialogue and affect as they occur in real time. And this is part of building up your knowledge of understanding how your individual dashboard works. and how it taps into some of the older themes that you've come to accumulate over time. So I'm really looking forward to having you join us. Thanks so much. See you soon.